Hi everyone, welcome to School of Scarlett. It's so good to be here with you today. I'm going to do another porch chat with you. It's a really rainy day here today. It's so rainy that it knocked out the power at my daughter's school for about 2 hours, so it's been pretty crazy. It's slowed down now, so I thought that I would come out here and film this video, but if it starts back up, we're under this porch, so I think we'll be okay. But today I wanted to kind of respond to some viewer responses and questions and just kind of have a little chit chat with you here under the porch. So the question is really coming around bullying, and I want to touch a little bit on narcissism. So I received a question from an 11-year-old girl wanting me to make a video around bullying. And then in the past, I've received quite a few emails around narcissism. A lot of times my videos are a little bit more positively focused, and there's people that are dealing with people in their lives that are very much draining them. You could even call them energy vampires. Might be a good thing to kind of bring up this time of year with Halloween. Energy vampires, narcissists, bullies, they are all kind of in their own club right there. So we'll kind of talk about that here today. If you have been bullied, if you've been the victim of bullying before, comment down below or give me a like right now. And so I have experienced some levels of bullying, not as bad as I've witnessed. Growing up, I definitely saw a lot of other students and you know, my peers being bullied, and it was pretty rough to watch. The time that I grew up, it was pretty much like a lot of physical violence, and I literally saw a boy that was just, he didn't do anything wrong. He was just overweight, and for that reason he got his teeth knocked out. And so it was pretty scary to watch that, and that was at the cafeteria room. We all witnessed it. The teeth went out everywhere. It was quite horrific. I can still remember it to this day. So there's different levels of bullying, but at the core, it really does hurt. So I kind of want to bring some kind of tips and kind of discussion around it here today. And if you have anything to add to this discussion, please comment down below for anyone that has experienced this, is going through this now. So when we are experiencing bullying, like I say, it can really grab us at our core. You know, it hurts our emotions. It doesn't feel good. It could even make us cry. It could make us depressed. So many different things. So it really hurts us emotionally, and there's reactions behind that. So bullies and narcissists and energy vampires, all these kind of people, they really get a rise out of getting other people to kind of have these strong emotional reactions. So one of the things that I'd like to talk about is silence, and I posted in my community tab something about silence being power, and you can go back and check what the actual quote was, but there is a lot of truth to that. And so if you can imagine a bully standing there, you know, making fun of you or whatever, if you just walk away, there's not much that they can do. If you stand in your silence, there's not much that they can do. Now, this isn't to say to suppress your emotions. This isn't to say that to ignore the situation. It's more to stand in your own power, your own authenticity, and know that that bully has nothing on you, isn't going to take anything from you. You are who you are. A lot of times bullies themselves are projecting. They're projecting their own hurts and pains. And I know I heard a long time ago someone say, hurt people hurt people. And there's a lot of truth to that. So if we really get to know these bullies, they have been bullied in their life, possibly by their parents, possibly their trauma history, whatever happened to them as children. So it's not to excuse their behavior, but they're projecting a lot of the times something about what they're feeling onto someone else. And it's not fun to be the brunt of that, right? So the best thing that we can do to protect ourselves is to walk away, to be silent, to kind of allow that projection to go straight back onto the bully so that the bully can examine why that is happening. So one of the things that's popping into my mind right now is like an echo. So if you go into, like, I'm seeing a cave. If you go into a cave and, like, you know, you see these cartoons where somebody yells out like, hello, right? And then it just comes back, hello. And it's not somebody else's voice. It's that same person's voice. It's just being echoed back. And so the bully really wants to get you to say something, to react, to have a different voice come back to them. But the goal here, and what I'm kind of trying to suggest, is to allow that voice to be their own, so that they could hear their own voice and they can reflect on that a little bit deeper. See, they don't want to go deeper. They want to gain some of that energy, some of that reaction from the other person, and they want to hear their voice rather than hearing their own. So the best thing in that case is to just kind of allow that echo to echo back to them exactly what they're saying, and not to say that we're going to repeat what they're saying. We're just simply going to walk away. We're just simply going to not react in any kind of way. Even reactions like getting emotional, like yelling, screaming, crying, any of these things will get a rise out of the bully, and they'll continue to want to do it. It's like fuel to their fire. So if we can keep our composure and walk away and let them hear that echo back to themselves, they'll be able to go a little bit deeper within themselves, and they'll kind of lose that power. So that's one of the things that you can really do in that case. And so when a bully is projecting, they are truly like having an emotional pain themselves. And again, it's not to excuse what they're doing, but what they're saying to you has nothing to do with you. So if you can also realize and stand in your power, realizing that whatever they're saying to you has no truth, no basis here. A lot of times bullies pick on people that are being very authentic or are comfortable in their own skin, or are sometimes different because they have this need to want to please or to be like others because of some of their brokenness, right? So if they see someone that's different, they automatically latch on to that person as a target. So a lot of times they'll really bully people that are authentic, that are happy, that are joyful, that are different. And so we see this as a pattern because they're not comfortable with themselves being that way. So they have to attack something that is more authentic. But that doesn't mean to allow them to break you down. So stay in your authenticity. What you are is beautiful. What you are is strong. And just like a mountain, it doesn't really move, right? It's just there. And it's beautiful, it's strong. So imagine yourself as a mountain. You're not going to be moved by these bullies or these narcissists or these energy vampires. You're going to stand in who you are and let the storms and everything else pass. And it's not going to affect you. You're going to be that mountain. You're going to stay still. You're going to stay strong. You're going to stay as who you are, not letting them affect you or change who you are in any kind of way. So with narcissists, a lot of times, and energy vampires, a lot of times it is they try to get you to engage. It's literally like a vampire, right? They want to suck the life out of you. So the best thing in that case is to remove yourself. If you don't have to be with these people, remove yourself from their reality, okay? And in some cases, if it's not that you can't remove yourself from them, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's someone that you truly just cannot remove yourself from at this time. Again, silence is power. As soon as you stand in your silence, there's not much that they can do. Now, if you're really being bullied as a younger person or something like that, and you feel like you need to reach out to someone, an authority figure, a counselor, even someone online like myself or whoever you can, a parent, an authority figure, someone that can kind of be there with you to encourage you to walk through this, but also in your protection, because let's say you're your child, right? You do need some sort of protection. You do need someone on your side if things really get out of hand, because like I say, as a child, I witnessed literally physical violence against children, other peers at that time, but now looking back, it was just quite horrific. So there's got to be someone else involved in that situation. But more towards adults and just kind of talking in general, we can remove ourselves from that situation. We can choose ourselves over having a relationship with these people. So the next step would be, before you remove yourself, if you'd like to try to work things out with these people, is to create boundaries with them. Let them know that if they're going to talk to you that way, or if they're going to behave in this manner, you're not going to be around them. And so create that line in the sand, that boundary that they're not going to be able to cross. And if they do cross it, you have to stand and be consistent with your boundary. So a lot of times I used to do counseling with parents and just kind of parenting techniques. And I noticed that parents that were consistent, let's say if they were going to say that, you're going to lose your phone if you do this or that. The parents that were consistent and did take away the phone, we saw results immediately. But when parents were kind of flip-flopping and just kind of allowing it to slide, okay, I told them I was going to take away their phone, but they're going to still need it for this or that, so they wouldn't take it away, it would be a total disaster. The child would ramp up more and more energy, and the threats just didn't even work, you know. And not that these threats need to happen in that way. You could call them punishments, whatever. They just didn't work anymore because, you know, the child saw that the parent was not consistent. So this consistency thing goes across the board. It goes with bullies, it goes with narcissists, energy vampires, anyone in your life. If you say something, you have to mean it and you have to act on it. You have to, if somebody crosses your boundary, you've let them know that that's not okay. What will you do next? Is it remove yourself from them? Is it whatever you had, you know, talk to them about? So you want to create some very clear boundaries and be consistent with them. And in the case of being bullied, sometimes we can't control what happens. Someone may make fun of us, someone may bully us, and, you know, it happens. We have to also take care of ourselves. So self-care is important. It's important to realize who we are, to go into our inner selves and work on ourselves in our inner selves. Realizing that what these people are saying or doing is not okay, is not the truth, is not who we are. And so really, you know, stepping into who we really are. You know, you are a lot more great than you think, you know. So as the more that you get into your inner self and you start recognizing who you are and exploring that side of yourself, you're going to recognize a true wealth of power that's been sitting there all along, and nothing's going to be able to shake you. So you want to go inward rather than outward. Sometimes we think, okay, what can we do to change ourselves? You know, someone's making fun of us because of the way we dress or the things we like to do. And oftentimes, you know, we see people go out and change the way they dress, change the way they act to try to appease these people. But you're perfect as you are. There is nothing that you have to change about yourself. If you feel comfortable, if you love who you are, there is nothing that you need to change about yourself. So go inward and tap into that inner wealth of power that you already have there and stand strong. Use silence as a power against these bullies, because these bullies are looking for a reaction. That's what they're looking for. The other thing that's coming through is like a mirror. So when we look in a mirror, we really only see our own reflection, right? That's the only thing being reflected back to us. So when you're thinking about a bully, a narcissist, or energy vampire, you want to just allow them to see themselves. So they're coming to you to try to get a new reaction in that mirror, to see a show, to see some emotion, to get a reaction to drain you in some way. But don't allow that. Just have them to just see themselves. So maybe they make fun of you, but you just stand there strong like a mountain, and there is no reaction, there is no response, and the only thing that they see is themselves making fun of someone else. And sooner or later, they will introspect, and that will help them in their process. So it's actually something beneficial to both. Being part of, you know, having someone in your life that's an energy vampire, a narcissist, or a bully of some kind, it's an energetic load on you. It really does take an energetic load on you, even if you are silent, even if you are strong. So again, you may have to remove yourself completely from that situation and not engage with that person at all. Find ways to, you know, move around that situation. If you're, you know, a student in school, is there a way you can switch classes? Is there a way you can talk to a counselor that can remove you from wherever that bully happens to be? You know, if you're an adult, how can you remove yourself from that situation? You know, what can you do? And it's not a coward thing. It's not a weak thing to remove yourself, to be silent. It's a strong thing. It's basically the highest level of self-care, self-love that you can give yourself. You have to take care of yourself, and to continually put yourself in that situation and either not seek help or to just take it, it's not healthy either. So we got to do everything we can to protect ourselves. See yourself as like you're protecting that inner child in you. What would you do to protect that inner child? What would you say to a friend? How would you protect your own child? So take those steps to protect your own inner child, your own self. So I hope that this chat was kind of helpful to you in, you know, talking about bullies, talking about narcissists. If you like this topic, let me know down below. It's not something that I normally talk about because it really has to do a lot with projection. People are projecting their inner hurts, their traumas, and it really manifests itself in different ways for both the bully and the person that's being bullied. So it's a pretty complex topic, but these are the starting points of what I would recommend in order to kind of avoid some of the pain, the energy drain, the energy downgrade that these people cause us, is to really stand strong like that mountain. Allow them to see their mirror, their reflection back to them and no one else. Allow them to hear their own echo back to them and no one else's, with no reaction. And you'll see sooner or later that that energy vampire, that bully will be no more, because it'll start to see that it can't get anything from you. So it'll go off to do something else. So I hope that this message found you about well. If it resonated with you, give me a thumbs up, a heart, or comment down below. It really helps to support my channel to get these videos out there. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all.